Hop onto the main account. Hop onto the channel. There it is there. It's currently loading up as I speak. Yep. Audio is working as it should. The stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. And I don't think we're too far away from the ready up signal either. In fact, I think it has just been given. So when the timer hits 0, I'll start the introduction as per normal. And unsurprisingly, with the Elite Series, attendance is fairly poor. We do have a couple of reserves in tonight, those being Ryan Cox and Urban Scyther, but even with their involvement, we've only got 13 for tonight's race. So less than ideal. Hello everyone and welcome to round 15 of the Pacific Elite Series here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Everingham, your lead commentator for this event, and this time we're at Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Opened in 1953, the circuit more commonly known as Imola is regarded by many as one of the most iconic racetracks in the world of Formula One. It's a proper old-fashioned driver's circuit, similar to that of Suzuka and Monaco, where a driver's focus and discipline is put to the test. The circuit has evolved over the years, but has retained its original style. The modern-day layout measures up at 4.9 kilometers, consists of 19 corners and a single DRS zone that heads down the main straight into the primary overtaking spot of Variante Tamburello, the circuit's iconic opening chicane. The main technical areas of the circuit are located in the middle sector, with drivers having to tackle corners such as Piratella and of course the ever formidable complex of Acqua Minerale. To add on top of that, these areas will have their difficulty amplified thanks to the terrible curb physics in the F1 22 game. So don't be too surprised if we see drivers spin out through these sections as well as several more. With it being a sprint round that ends this championship season, there are huge points on offer to help drivers and teams vault up the leaderboards and end this season on a high. But before we focus on this qualifying session, there is a bit of news to go through first from last week's race in Miami. There was only a single incident report involving ACW and Spicy Salami, an incident that we actually caught on stream. The verdict from the stewards was that Spicy was at fault for a poor rejoin that resulted in a bigger accident. He was given a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point for that incident. But even with the time penalties applied, Spicy doesn't move position. So the final results from that race remain completely unchanged. In the Drivers' Championship, it's all wrapped up. Smithy, our Drivers' Champion, on 282 points. He has a 73-point lead over this man, Ferrari Pro, on 309. His teammate ACW is absent for today. He's on 291, followed by Plevs on 227, then Bags Liddell on 168, GeForce Pato on 158, Spicy on 152, Roscoe Arm on 141, Pump on 121, and Marvelant at the bottom of the top 10 on 73 points. In the Constructors, though, it is not wrapped up. It's still mathematically possible for one of two teams to win the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are leading the way. They're on an even-steven 600 points, with Aston Martin in second on 550. Now, there are quite a few points available during this sprint round. You can score points in the sprint as well as the main race, and Aston Martin have both cars, Smithy and Bags Liddell. Ferrari only have Ferrari Pro, so there is a chance for Aston Martin to snag the team's championship away from Ferrari here in this final round. Alpine are third in the standings on 385, followed by Alfa Romeo 185. Then we got Mercedes on 157, Williams on 131. Then we have Haas on 104, Rebel Racing on 83, McLaren on 79, and AlphaTauri complete the table on 35 points. But that's it in terms of news. We can now focus on this quali session. And I can introduce my co-commentator for tonight, who's once again KD 1997. KD, done a few races around here, this famous racetrack. What are your general thoughts about Imola?
Imola, I mean, well, it's an old-fashioned circuit, as you have said. It's a classic circuit in Formula One. Probably one of the few circuits that I actually tend to enjoy ever since it came onto the F1 game from last year in 2021. And 22, I actually don't mind it. It's actually the same thing. It's one of my favorite tracks. That's actually a track I consider to be pretty decent at in the past. But it's very fast, very technical. It's also very tricky as well, very tricky braking zones, especially Aqua Minerale, as we all know, is one of the trickiest areas, I think, in the entire... Ooh, hello, Ferrari Pro, nearly missed an Alpine there. But yeah, no, like Aqua Minerale, as we all know, is like the trickiest area in terms of braking and obviously in the traction zone as well, from when we gone around that sort of area.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the most formidable part of the circuit for me when I first started racing around this circuit, when it rejoined back in F1 2020. Was it 2020 it was introduced?
2021. I said 2021, yeah. But yeah, 2021.
I'm pretty certain it was introduced in
Oh, we're talking about real life. I am so sorry.
No. Even on the games, it was introduced as a late DLC or something, wasn't it? Or was that on F1 21?
No, it was a late DLC on 2021.
Right, okay. I thought it might have been on 2020. But yeah, no, on 2021, okay. But yeah, I remember that was the first part of the track I really struggled. Like Tamburello, Villeneuve, they're hard enough. Tosa is hard. Like, it's not the easiest hairpin to go through in the world. Piratella is a pretty difficult corner in itself. But Aqua Minerale, it's a huge step up. Really fast turn 11 right-hander. Then you climb back up a hill through 12 and 13, which is, it's all traction zone through there. So if you get too much on the accelerator, the car loses control and you can spin. And the barriers aren't too far away. So you really do have to be careful. And it's raining.
Oh. Wow.
So,
that's...
some drivers have stayed in the pits. It started raining.
And they're going to be a bit screwed.
Well, folks, qualifying's over. And I'm not joking either. Quali's done. Like, 2 Williams are out on track. They're going to do laps. They're not going to get anywhere near the top times, because the track conditions are only going to worsen throughout this session. So that's it. Quali's done. Ryan Cox will start from pole position.
Bit well, I guess unorthodox is one way of putting that.
It's been a while since I've seen a session like this. It has been a while. But it has happened where it's been a dry start. Everybody needs to get out, storm out of the pits and do a lap. Otherwise, they're in these conditions. We're right on board with Pump. Give you a guided tour of this 4.9 kilometre racetrack. DRS open, crossing the line. We'll head down the main straightaway and up towards the left-hand kink of turn 1. Yes, this little kink here, that's turn 1. Heading towards turn 2, the entry of Variante Tamburello. Down to 4th gear, back up to 5th gear through turn 3, and heading around turn 4. We'll head up a short chute towards Variante Villeneuve, turns 5 and 6 on the racetrack. Now up towards the Tosa hairpin from 5th gear, bringing it all the way down to 3rd. Get back on the accelerator and head up the hill towards the kink of turn 8, then towards Piratella, turn 9. Bring it down to 5th gear, back on the accelerator, nice and tidy through there. Down the hill towards Aqua Minerale, turn 11, then climbing up the hill through 12 and 13. You have to be so careful on the power through here. Up towards Variante Alta, very short, compact chicane with tall curbs. They can really screw you over, or you can see they pump huge amounts of counter steer as the back end of the car slides about. They'll head down the hill and around turn 16 and into Ravazza, turn 17 and 18. It's important that you don't run too wide, otherwise you'll invalidate your flying lap. Around the final corner with DRS open, he'll cross the line to set a 17.5. He is currently 1 second off Spicy's time. Gives you a clear indication that the track conditions are only worsening.
Yep, and they will, like you said, continue to get worse and worse from what it's looking like.
I don't understand then why there were still a few drivers in the pits. Oh, camera spun. That's that pit entry.
Well, yeah, we're about to 2 we spun.
But yeah, I don't know why the likes of Smithy, or maybe Smithy would like to start from the back. There's the call from race control. DRS is disabled, so very little point in continuing in this session. You might as well retire.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, you seal the championship, you don't really need to do much if you don't feel like it.
That's it. Yeah. And then again, he's got a constructors which he kind of could fight for.
True.
I suppose in a 13-car race where you know you're pretty quick. You know, we'll see what Smithy can do. Thank you, ACW. So we're going to have an all-dry sprint and main race. So this is the only time we're going to see wet weather conditions during this race session. So very peculiar. Oh, Roscoe is in the grass. Kisses the barrier. Says hello to all of the Italian fans watching along. There'll be some that barrack for him. He's in an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and it is an Italian outfit.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah. Well, Italian manufacturer, I should say.
Yeah, it's a sort of Italian pseudo-Swiss outfit, as Sauber is obviously a Swiss racing team. Still have Spicy out on track. He's got a broken front wing on his Mercedes, so yeah, he's not setting any electric times out there.
Yeah. No, he's just emulating a Formula Ford is what he's doing.
With a big old rear wing, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually seen him rain in Imola as well. 2 seasons ago, I probably would say the last time I've actually seen it. 2021. That's actually no. What did I say? 2 years ago? I meant it last year because that was when we raced at Imola. Yeah. Well, at latest, the last time we raced at Imola. I have good memories of that.
Just be waiting on Cam now to retire from the session for whatever reason. He hasn't done that yet. In fact, he's coming out onto the track on inters.
Even though it's dry the entire session, next bit of the session. So it's gonna be like one of those drivers where one driver's just basically gonna dawdle around and whatever.
Yeah, just waste our time for 7 minutes when he could retire and end the session straight away. We can move on to the sprint. No, we're gonna watch a guy dawdle about on a set of inters. And I suppose in fairness, if he does complete one lap, he will jump up to 11th. Which is one spot better than 12th.
Yeah, at least, I guess, for his sake. Just wave about to the Italian fans in that blue Williams, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking Roscoe was going to try and do the same ACW, where he was on a lap. He would I thought he was going to finish the lap and jump in front of Smithy, but he elected to come back in. So I don't really understand what Cam's up to be perfectly honest with you. Because yeah, he might be up to out-qualify Smithy, but this is Smithy we're talking about. Smithy's our champ. So.
Yeah, proven to be the quickest driver and everything. Not the entire season.
Cam here seems to be pretty committed to doing laps. So with 6 minutes left, watch Cam do a lap of Imola down towards Tamburello. Clobbering over the curbs. You have to be very careful with that, especially in these conditions. Because the curbs are nasty enough in the dry, let alone in the wet.
Yeah, no, they are quite nasty.
Oh. Okay, there, we're getting ever closer to F123. And to tell you the truth, I've got absolutely no buzz for it.
Yep. I think I've expressed my feelings about it. Although I will be the guinea pig and try it as soon as it launches, of course.
Well, apparently there's already guinea pigs out there. There's some sort of beta that's released to certain people that they've been playing with.
Oh,
apparently.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, I think I remember that. I mean, PC players I think have a beta thing forward, and I think PlayStation did as well, but that's only for the European side, if I'm correct.
Yeah, because screw us, right?
I know, screw the Oceania region, screw the American region.
Screw every region except Europe, because Europe is the only one that matters. According to the Europeans.
Well, Cam actually goes to 10th. There you go.
Now he
And
retires.
Alright, well, he just wanted to do a lap. Alright, at least he didn't go for too long, I suppose.
Well, there we are. Under qualifying. Oh, the shortest qualifying session of the season. It's Ryan Cox. In fact, it's our 2 reserve. Sorry, no, Scythe is the other reserve driver. Oh, I suppose Tom technically counts. Technically. But yeah, no. It's Cox who will start from pole position, followed by Tom, then Urban Scyther. Plebs P4, then F1 Ferrari Pro, Bags, Liddell, Spicy, Pump, Davis, Cam. And you have Pato, Smithy, and Ross go on. Last 2 will be starting towards the back after not setting a time during this qualifying session. Now move on to the sprint, which hopefully will be a bit more entertaining than this.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Count our lucky stars, I suppose. I mean, hey, we at least had well, I mean, I don't know if I would say entertainment we had last night. More like that show is what we would have called Abu Dhabi last night in endurance.
It was certainly a race that had a lot in it. Not necessarily positive things, but a lot of things just happened throughout that race. It's left a lot of question marks. So yeah, hopefully we don't have that here for the final round of this championship. Slightly overcast, but as ACW informed us, we're not set for any wet weather conditions for the sprint or the main race. So everybody, I'd imagine, will be starting on the medium compound tyre. Don't know if the softs can last that long, KD. I suppose we'll find out.
Well, I've done a sprint format in this track before, and mediums is the way to go. Softs is just gonna be. It's like Austria. If you start on the soft tires, like you'll be quick for a while, but then once we get towards the later part of the race, your pace will drop. So
fair enough then. Yeah. As the timer ticks down to 0, we'll begin the formation lap. See who's done what. In terms of tyre compound, see a lot of yellow, which is not surprising. Almost everyone is on the mediums. Almost. All 13 drivers on the grid now making their way off the grid. Almost all of them on the mediums, except for one, GeForce Pato. One of 2 of his home circuits here in Italy is starting on the soft compound tyre. Guess why not?
Yeah, he's at the back. Miles, what do you got to lose towards the back?
But everyone else is on the medium compound tyre. So we'll get rid of the tyre graphic for now. Wait patiently for the drivers to make their way around the circuit, then line back up on the grid on the main straight. I'll be curious to think what Italians would think of seeing an Italian driver in a French car.
Like, probably very confused in terms of like who they want to root for more. Obviously, they wouldn't want to root for anyone that's from Ferrari, but yeah, in the blue Alpine, how driver the blue Alpine? Confusion. Probably a lot of confusion.
ACW, it's not your fault that we have low attendance. Not your fault, no. Oh, I hope isolation at least treats you well. So, and hopefully your little sis gets better soon. As Urban Scythe is taking a very unique approach to lining up on the grid. I'm thinking that wasn't going to work.
Well, I mean, he tried at least.
Hey, you know what? That's scientific right there. You know, he had a hypothesis. Can you do this? And the answer is no. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All 13 cars are lined up ready to run. We got 11 laps in front of us and 10 red lights. The sprint race is underway. It's a nice start from Ryan Cox. It's a nice start from Plebs in P4 as he tries to challenge Scyther, heading towards Variante Tamburello. Searching around the outside, he can't get it done. Scyther looking around the outside of Tom. He can't get it done either. Off the racetrack goes, I believe that's Pato in the Alpine, doing a bit of rallycross on the inside as Ferrari Pro in 5th place was battling Bags Liddell ever so briefly. We head out of Villeneuve and towards the Tosa hairpin. It is Ryan Cox who leads, Tom in 2nd, Scyther 3rd, Plebs 4th, Ferrari Pro rounds out the top 5. Minimal drama at the start, except for what happened there with Pato. Like I said, he went off the circuit into the gravel trap at turn 2. Fortunately, I don't think he's got damage, but he's now right at the back.
Yeah, I think it was just he got caught up in some sort of midfield scrap, so I think he might have just been forced off the track a little bit is what happened.
Down
Smithy.
the side at Variante Alta. Don't see that all too often.
Ballsy move, but made it work.
Yep.
He's already up to 8th. That was starting in 12th, I believe that was, if I remember correctly. Doing very well.
Also to note, with that off at turn 3, that's really screwed Pato's strategy on the softs. He needed to have a clean start, make up moves early. He's now lost ground and he has dirty tyres to try and drive with. Not ideal.
Not fun. No. Not fun at all. So yeah, Cox though, he's having a bit of a good start. Nearly a second lead. Oh no! You know, it's funny that he, as I said, that he loses the back end at the exit of Villeneuve chicane, but doesn't lose time somehow.
Yeah, it shows that he's trying.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, he's got to give it to a guy who's trying his best out there. Tom's keeping him company though. He's still within a second of the race leader. I'm keeping my eyes on this battle though between Plebs and Ferrari Pro. Ferrari Pro has pace, but the problem is we're racing at Imola. This track is not easy to pass at all.
Well, the singular DRS zone, it's pretty much even more difficult to try to overtake, because your best chance to overtake is really a Tamburello.
Bit wide there from Bags Liddell there at the exit of Variante Alta. He might have copped a warning for that, I'm not totally sure. Right behind him is Spicy Salami with our newly crowned Elite Series champion Smithy in P8 up 4 spots. In fact, after all the shuffling we've had on the opening 2 laps, he's the only driver who's moved forward. Everyone else has either stayed where they're qualified or lost position. It seems that Scyther might be losing touch of the top 2 as well. The gap's increased to 1.2 seconds, so Cox and Tom might be driving away here. Pleb's trying to stay within a second. Oh, and a spin for Bags Liddell. Oh, and a spin for his teammate. It's both Aston Martins that have spun at Tosa. They're now last and second last.
Oh, and that's not going to help him either in the Constructors' Championship either for that spin.
Dear, oh dear.
That does not help at all. Remember, top 10 do score points for the sprint. And they're outside of that too.
Yep. So they need to get their heads down, try and catch up.
That isn't... What on earth was that sort of line, Davis? He literally just cut the entire Variante Alta chicane and then caught a 5-second penalty. Deservedly for that.
Yeah. Maybe he locked up, maybe he felt like he was losing control and just took evasive action, just bit the bullet, took the penalty, saved the race car. That would be my guess if he went straight on there.
Yeah, well, he didn't lose control. I guess he probably just, maybe the guesses he locked up probably too much.
Round the outside goes G-Force Pato at turn 2. He gets in front at 3. He moves himself into P9. So ACW is keeping up with the mass. If Ferrari outscore Aston Martin by 4 points, apparently, KD, Ferrari become Constructors' champions.
That pretty much is...
That's what we've got to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, so pretty much...
oh, it's Pato! Sorry to interrupt you. A spin at Piratella. He's hit the wall as well, breaking an end plate. He's now down to 13th. promote. Oh, and Cox has spun as well. That's at the exit of Variante Alta. He drops down to 5th. Plenty of spinning at the Italian racetrack.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I was going to...
Katie. His mic dropped out. I'll pick up where he left off. We have Tom now leading the way. And now he's left the session. Urban Scyther in P2, 1.5 seconds behind, with Plebs in P3, followed by F1 Ferrari Pro. So it's a tight fight here. Pump overtaking Davis. He moves into P7. Cam hovering behind in 9th. Roscoe Arm completing the top 10. So yeah, 23, that's 54 points. The gap is 50. So yeah, I think it's actually 5 points to guarantee it, because Aston Martin have won more races. So 5 points is how much Ferrari need to outscore by, and right now with 4th place that's 7. So yeah, Ferrari in the hot seat right now, but still got a ways to go yet. We haven't even reached the halfway mark. Yeah, that's alright, KD. Come back when you can. It's alright. Bags Liddell a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As Cam and Davis battle away. Cam moves through into 8th position. Davis down to 9th. So we head through Ravazza. Turns 17 and 18 on the racetrack. There's the 2 Williams, followed by the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo. As we head down the main straight towards turn 1. Roscoe Arm's going to move by. That's P9 now for the Alfa Romeo driver. Davis right on the back of him. Not close enough to try and send it into Tamburello. He stays behind. I must say, I love calling around this racetrack. I love commentating here because of the corner names. They're so cool. Tamburello, Villeneuve, Toza. Oh, slide there from Davis. Exiting Variante Villeneuve as he heads into Toza. Corners like Piratella, Aqua Minerale, Variante Alta. It's so good to have corner names rather than just generic numbers. Makes such a difference when it comes to the commentary. I love it. Down the hill towards Aqua Minerale. Turn 11, then 12 and 13. You climb up the hill towards Variante Alta. Meanwhile, Davis is under pressure. Smithy is on the back of him. This is for 1 point, and these points matter. If Aston Martin want any shot of securing the team's championship. Bags Liddell ran wide as well. That might have been a warning. But Smithy applying the pressure. Can he find a way through? I think the answer is yes. Meanwhile, Scyther under pressure. Plebs closing in. Round the outside at turn 1. Plebs gets him easily. Well before the braking zone into Tamburello. Ferrari Pro in P4. Smithy gets by Davis. That's for P10. Meanwhile, the 2 Williams are side by side. Into Tamburello we go. They're still side by side through turn 3. Up towards turn 4. Pump stays in front. Roscoe Arm closes in. They'll head towards Variante Villeneuve. Pump stays in 7th position. Oh, a bit wide though. Introduces an opportunity for Cam to go round the outside at Toza. It's keeping the car there. Pump gives him room. It's a dragon race now. Up the hill towards turn 8. And then Piratella. Cam gets in front. He moves into P7. Pump had a look down the inside, but he wasn't close enough. Didn't have the momentum to really try and send it there. So he'll stay in P8. Have I got you, KD?
Hello, I am back.
Welcome back. Internet had a hiccup.
Yep, it had its somewhat hiccup, apparently. Again.
That's alright. You here? Yeah. That's the main thing.
But no, I was gonna say before that happened is that what's going on right now is that Ferrari are in position to actually just be crowned champion.
And we still got to wait a few more laps as Scyther gets back through on Plebs, moves into 2nd position. Plebs back down to 3rd. Bags Liddell gets by Davis. Pump gets by Cam again. Moves himself back into 7th place with Roscoe Arm watching the show in 9th. As they exit Variante Tamburello and head towards Variante Villeneuve.
I've been noticing that a little bit of a scrub. Cam, careful with the curves, buddy, please.
The curbs aren't fun around here, that's for sure.
No. I was going to say that the two Williams have been battling for what it's been looking like while my internet was having its little stuff going on, basically.
We head down this back straightaway towards Variante Alta. Smithy, he is right on the back of this train. He needs to overtake as many cars as possible. Running wide again is Bags Liddell. Running wide is Davis as well. But both drivers having a really hard time with that chicane.
Yeah, that chicane's proving to be a problem for some drivers, it seems. Not a total surprise. There, this business of this game.
Ferrari Pro has pace, but he hasn't found a way through Plebs just yet. He's still stuck in 4th. Meanwhile, Ryan Cox has moved into P5 with Spicy Salami right behind him in 6th. Smithy overtakes Roscoe. I'm down the inside of turn 2. He moves in front into 9th position. Can Bags Liddell find a way through? They'll head towards Variante Villeneuve. Down the inside, he looked briefly there as Pato retires in the pit lane. He'll start from the back for the main race here at Imola. Oh, and a bit wide there was Davis, who was doing a bit of rallycross at the exit of turn 6. Oh, and Roscoe, huge slide, great catch on the grass. And he rejoins in 11th. Here comes Davis, though. Not close enough to do anything. Let's have a look here in terms of telemetry.
Yeah. I was going to look at that for you. Pretty much in the teens for P2, 3, and 4.
Pretty even. Yeah, 10, 17, 18%. It's all pretty even in terms of battery between the top 3. Fairly even fight. And now Cox's going to join in. So we've got a 5-car train for second with 2 to go. And we got a 4-car train for P7 with both Williams and both Aston Martin cars battling away. Smithy draws alongside Cam, gets a nose in front, moves through into 8th position.
Definitely nothing you can do about that, Ben Williams. Not at all. Smithy's just too quick there down that straight.
This has been a fairly terrific sprint so far. Plenty of action. Some fair chunks of drama as well. Oh, and a big slide from Plebs.
Jesus.
Humongous slide there from Mr. Race Spec. He caught it well. He is battling hard for this 2nd place finish in the sprint. Ferrari Pro lurking behind Cox. A mistake at Variante Alta. A small slide has cost him a little bit of time. We head down the hill into Ravazza. Roscoe moves through into 11th place as we head down the main straightaway for the 2nd last time. They now begin the final lap of the sprint here at Imola.
Here comes Plebs. He's closing rapidly.
To the outside, heading into Variante Tamburello. He outbrakes Cypher. He tries to get in front, but Cypher fights back at the exit of the chicane. Down the inside, heading into Variante Villeneuve. He gets in front of Mr. Race Spec and moves into 3rd place. A great piece of opportunistic driving.
Yeah, well respected driving. Nice driving there by Ferrari Pro there to get by Plebs. Crucial there too. For getting some points.
Around Piratella and down the hill towards Aqua Minerale. Can Ferrari Pro move by Cypher? Can he hop into 2nd place? Does he have enough time? Does he have the right corners to try and make that kind of move? Through Variante Alta, it's a tidy run from all 5 cars. Only 2 more corners, technical corners that is to go. That being the Ravazza curve. Meanwhile, Tom had a fairly faultless race. He'll take the win at the sprint and fastest lap as well, right at the death of the race. It'll be Irvin Cypher who finishes in 2nd. Ferrari Pro in 3rd. That is 8 points for Ferrari in the Constructors. Smithy moves up to 7th. He'll stay there in 7th as well. Bags Liddell with a time penalty finishes in 10th place. That is 1 point for Bags. There's 2, 3, 4. And the championship's still going on.
Yeah. That's 5 points for Aston total. So that's 3 points in spread, I think.
But the gap is down to 47. Sorry, no.
The
53.
Ferrari gained 3.
Other way. There we are. The end of the sprint. We have Tom, our race winner. Decent margin as well, 5.6 seconds. Tidy race from Tom. Takes a well-deserved win. Urban Scyther home in second. Ferrari Pro in third. Followed by Plebs, Ryan Cox. Spicy Smithy recovered to P7. Pump, Cam and Bags Liddell. Our last point scorer in 10th. We have Roscoe Arm Davis and Pato, who elected to retire from the sprint. He will start from the back in the main race.
Yeah, very entertaining. Excuse me, entertaining though. Race, not too bad at all for even a 13-car field.
To answer your question, Black Bowler, as well, I sleep at fairly regular times, about 10 o'clock in the evening, because I live here in Australia, so it all works out pretty well for me. Mr. KD, on the other hand...
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. right now, as we're speaking.
For whatever reason, he's commentating along with me at 3 a.m. in the morning. And he does Formula Endurance as well.
Oh, that one, I didn't think I was going to do that, to be fair.
And then you just committed to it.
Somehow, yeah. I did the best I could, though.
I wouldn't commit to that, no way. Not those times.
Yeah, no, I know.
But you did.
I did. Well, I mean, hey, I enjoy your company as well, in the comms box, though, to be fair. So.
Yeah, you had somebody to talk to for Elite. Can't say the same for Endurance, though.
Endurance is a whole different animal.
Isn't it what?
Oh, for God's sake. I'm in a car, apparently. Okay, I'm in a Merc. Why? Oh, for God's sake. Okay,
I'm gonna have to... Did you not select Spectate?
I thought I was in Spectate. I did, didn't I? Well, I'm questioning this myself, by the way. I'm not questioning you. Okay, well, I'll make sure to retire once the lights go out, then, I suppose. And I'm not on my wheel either.
Silly Billy.
What? And I swear it was on Spectate. It should have stayed on Spectate.
I've only ever done that once, by the way. I've only ever done that maybe twice. I can definitely remember it once where I selected, or I didn't select Spectator heading into the race. And I arrived I believe it was at Monaco. I arrived in a pit garage at Monaco when I was commentating. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. So I did a lap showing people, oh yeah, this corner's this one, this corner's that one, this corner's this one. And then I probably retired in the pits. Watched qualifying, and then I had the POV of the first lap of the race at the back of the field, and then I retired again in the pits. And fortunately, it didn't bring out a safety car or anything, so I was quite happy with that.
Yeah.
What kind of strategy are you running, by the way, KD? What are you starting on?
Well, I'll give you a little hint. It starts with an M.
Oh, you're on the medium. Well, you're one of 3 drivers on the medium compound tyre.
I'm also not on my wheel as well.
Oh, look at that. In the Silver Arrows as well. You're home in the America Series.
Yeah.
And there's the predicted pit stop strategy as well. Lap 14 to 18. So, got to remember that.
Oh God, it's no line. I forgot about that.
Oh, and that's a spin for Davis. Right in front of you.
Yep, yes, that was. Hello, Davis.
Alright, we'll run through the order then. Go through who's starting on what tyre. We have Tom starting at the front of the field. He's on the hard compound tyre. So is Urban Scyther in P2. F1 Ferrari Pro in P3. Plebs in P4 is doing the same. So is Ryan Cox in P5. And Spicy Salami in P6. We have Spicy starting 7th on the mediums. With Pump in P8 on the hard tyre. His teammate Cam is starting on the mediums. He's the only other driver starting on the medium compound. that should be racing in this main race. We have Bags Liddell on a set of hards. We have Roscoe Arm on a set of hards as well in P11. Then we have Davis on hards 2 in P12. Pato in P13, starting from the back on the hard compound type. And then we got cameraman KD in 14th position on the hard tyre.
Medium.
Oh, sorry. You are too.
Don't worry, I'll retire as soon as the lights go out, like I said. As I missed my breaking point there completely.
Nice racing, what? Oh, and there's Davis who was spun again.
Hey, at least I haven't spun.
No pressure, I'm watching you line up. No pressure.
that was unintentional, by the way.
Now your rear tyres will be nice and warm. Now cameraman KD is ready for the start of the Grand Prix. All of the drivers are lined up, ready to run. We've got 32 laps in front of us. 10 red lights. And the main race is underway here at Imola. And again, it's a nice start from Tom. It's a nice start from Ferrari Pro. Plebs has got a decent one. Heading towards Tamburello for the first time. Around the outside looks Plebs. Can't quite get it done. He stays in 4th position. Smithy's had a pretty tidy start. He's moved up into 5th as we head down towards Variante Villeneuve. Tom still leads. Scyther in 2nd. Ferrari Pro in 3rd. Plebs 4th. Smithy right behind in 5th. Oh, bit of tight battling heading out of Toza as we head up the hill towards turn 8. Spicy is close, but you can't really do anything at Piratella. He has to stay behind. KD, a drama 3-star.
Yeah, I suppose so. Interesting way to start everything all off, I guess, from my POV. Excellent. As well. But also, yeah, no, not a bad start from everybody. Tom's got a pretty decent sized gap already as he heads down towards the Ravazza corners. 1.3 seconds as well. Not a bad start indeed.
Roscoe trying to have a go here at Cam, side by side through Ravazza. Cam gets in front. P10. But yes, it's Tom who leads away. 1.5 seconds already. Gee whiz. As Ferrari Pro makes a move on Urban, moves through into 2nd. Smithy moves through into 4th. Pato up into 11th place as he overtakes Roscoe. Moves down into 12th place through Variante Villeneuve. Nice and tight here in the midfield as we head around Toza. See, Smithy is close and he's on those medium compound tyres. He's going to be incredibly racy here. He's going to have a lot of grip relative to everyone else. He needs to utilise it and get to the front.
Yep, he's got to make moves as quickly as possible if he wants a chance of winning. That's for sure.
Nice run through turn 13, heading towards Variante Alta. Clobber the curbs. Oh, a bit too much curb.
Made too much, yeah. Yep, got him offline there, unfortunately. I think that Brian Cox did the same thing too, because I noticed he went wide as well.
Almost Leclerc'd it. Heading around the 2nd Ravazza and onto the main straightaway. Smithy not close enough to try and attack Scyther just yet, but he'll stay behind. Gaps are spread out enough so that nobody can really make any moves for position just yet, though Cox is closing in on players, just not by enough. Through turn 3 and around turn 4, exiting Variante Villeneuve, we'll head Tamburello. We'll head into Variante Villeneuve. Nice tidy run from Smithy and Scyther. Driving quite tidily here at the start. And that's exactly what the hard runners need. Tidy driving right now.
Yep, go the distance as much as you can as well, just not make mistakes.
That's it. That's exactly what Tom's doing out in front as we now climb the hill around turn 13 onto the back straightaway, heading towards Variante Alta. Gap sits at 0.4 of a second, clobbering over the curbs. That's a bit better that time around from Smithy. With the clobber the curbs, touring car style. there at that chicane.
Tom's also got a hell. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh.
I was gonna say that Tom, though, he's got a very shows that he's got decent pace. He's got a lot of battery compared to Ferrari Pro in P2. Got a 60 to 70% difference, as a matter of fact.
Not terribly surprising with Ferrari Pro. He is fairly prone to spending a lot of battery early in the race. It's something that he's even commented on as something he needs to work on in the future. Working out how to properly manage the battery and not spend all of it at once. Yeah, it ultimately hurts him not having that extra battery in his back pocket. But plenty of natural pace, so it's working out for him. He's in second place. Yellows, it's Davis spinning. That's at turn 7. Toza, get pointed back in the right direction and get going again. Up the hill out of Aqua Minerale towards Variante Alta. Smithy, bit stuck. Can't find a way by Urban.
Yeah, he needs Urban. Interesting little run there.
That's an IndyCar line right there.
Yeah, if you've ever seen one, yeah.
No track limits in IndyCar. Use as much as you like.
Yeah. This sounds like how they do it in Coda.
Yeah. Particularly at Coda. They used a lot of it there. But yeah, Smithy just doesn't have the outright straight line performance to move by Urban. And he just doesn't have the right... Oh, but a mistake!
But Urban made a mistake! No, he did.
Out of the race.
Jesus Christ.
And that's a safety car.
That's a good safety car, yep.
Yeah.
That's a shunt if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, lost control through turn 3, got onto the gravel. Tried to save it, got back onto the tarmac. He was basically destined for the wall. He then gassed it up. I think what he was trying to do is hit the car side on against the wall rather than front on. But he didn't rotate the car enough. So it meant that he crashed into the wall with the right front hitting it head first and yeah, destroyed the car. So he's out of the Grand Prix. Our first proper retirement. We're down to 12.
I don't count, by the way.
That's right.
Obviously. Even though it does say I DNF'd.
It's lap 5. I don't think anyone will be pitting except maybe Smithy. If he can somehow do 27 laps on the hards. Which he's not going to do.
It's fair enough.
Although someone back here, and I was about to say this, someone back here could pit for a set of mediums. And that's exactly what Pato's doing. Because what you can do is pit onto the medium tyre. And everyone else in front of you is... No, everyone else in front of you still has to make one more stop. Because they haven't changed tyres yet. Whereas you've now met the tyre compound requirement. You started it on the hards. He can now double medium it to the end of the race.
Yeah, true. He can't do that.
So
good point.
Might have to keep our eyes on Pato. Cam's elected to pit onto the hard compound tyre. Which, you know, fair enough. He can try that. See if it works out for him. Don't know if he'll be able to go to the end on those because that's a pretty lengthy stretch. And Davis, he's done the same thing Pato's done. So we might see a couple of drivers try a double medium to the end of the race. Which might just work.
It could, but yeah, he's going to have to get a move on, I would say, though. If he wants to make that strategy actually properly work.
Just waiting on the back 3. Catch up to the tail of this train. Have a look at the position changes while we're here. So Tom, who qualified on pole, has not moved position. He is still leading this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. We have Ferrari Pro in second. He's up 1 place. Smithy's up 4 from the start, which isn't surprising on the mediums. We have Plebs. He hasn't moved, neither has Cox or Spicy. Pump has moved up a place. Bags up 2. Roscoe Arm up 2. Cam down 1. Pato up 2. Davis has moved position, and we're still waiting on him to catch up to the tail of the train.
Yep. But I think as soon as he catches up, obviously by then the safety car should come in, of course. Also noticed that Tom was having a little bit of a race with the safety car as well down the main straightaway.
Yeah, it would be the one area of the racetrack where you could have a proper race with the safety car. That Aston Martin Vantage isn't exactly slow. And that's something, it's very deceptive. Because we watch Formula 1 cars fly around the circuit and it seems so effortless. And then the safety car comes out and it seems so terribly slow. To the point where it could be considered dangerous. In truth though, that safety car's going pretty flat out. You got Bernd Maylander behind the wheel, who, for those who don't know, is an ex-racing driver and a pretty capable one at that. He was more than capable racing in the GT1 championship back in the late 90s. He represented a privateer Mercedes-Benz team. Drove quite well throughout that season in the Mercedes CLK GTR for the 98 season. Yeah. It's very deceptive watching the safety car go around because it is a lot quicker as Davis has spun again. Brought out yellow flags just briefly. He's now going again. Yeah, you got to give safety car credit. It is hauling, just compared to Formula 1 cars, it's a snail. Tom taking his time. He's allowed to as he takes off now. Ferrari Pro left napping a little bit there. It's now lap 8 of 32. We've got a long way to go. Plebs on the back of Smithy heading around turn 1. This little left-hand kink and towards Variante Tamburello. Cox looking down the inside. He doesn't commit to a move. We have 2 wide in the back. As down the inside goes Bags Liddell. He moves by Pump. That is for P7. A bit of battling here. Pump has a look down the inside but couldn't fully commit to the move. Heading into Variante Villeneuve. He stays behind as Cox gets by Plebs. Plebs must have made a mistake.
Oh,
he collects Spicy as well. Oh, contact. Bags and Plebs coming together now. As Pump moved through, but he had to get the position back. Contact between Plebs and Pump. Oh my word, drivers, stay away from Plebs. He's taking everybody out.
He's gone mad, apparently.
He took out Spicy, he hit Bags, and now he's taking out Pump, all in one lap.
1 lap and 3 corners, pretty much.
What on earth is going on?
Jesus.
It all started at the exit of Villeneuve. And it ended at Piratella. What on earth was that? So Plebs lost it at
he lost
Villeneuve.
control. And he tried to go down the inside of Spicy. They made contact and then all that concertina effect happened.
Pato lets his teammate through. Oh, sorry, no, the other way around. Oh, and off the circuit. Who was that? That was Roscoe.
Roscoe.
He went way off. Way off. How did he do that?
I don't know. I wasn't even on him when that happened.
Pump, same spot. He rejoins at turn 4. What is going on?
Can you guys keep your cars under control?
Is it a full moon tonight or something? What's going on?
Not where I am, no.
It was a really, really good sprint. Spicy's just given himself a 3 second. It was a really good sprint, and it's all gone down the toilet after the first safety car restart.
Yeah, and then everything unfolded in 1 1/4 lap.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
All at once, and we still got a battle at the front between 4 cars. DRS is now enabled. Ferrari Pro is closing in on the race leader. He's running low on battery though, Ferrari Pro. You can see the flashing red light, but he moves through into the race lead on lap 10 of 32 here at Imola.
So he's going to have to deal with Tom, who's got a whole heap of supply of battery.
He's on 89% compared to Ferrari Pro on 11. Smithy on a healthy 52. Ryan Cox on 49. This is quite typical of Ferrari Pro. He does spend a fair chunk of his battery. He'll need to rely heavily on his raw pace to try and pull away from those behind. I'm sure the virtual Italian fans are going absolutely mad in the grandstand, seeing the red car leading the way here at Italy. Yellow's out. It's spicy. That's a Piratella. There goes Roscoe Arm. Hey!
Oh no! Oh, I think that was going to end in a somewhat disaster if there was contact there.
Well, fortunately there wasn't contact. Otherwise, I agree with you. Probably would have ended in disaster. Tom, with the sheer power of DRS, is closing in. No need for battery for the Haas driver as he looks around the outside, heading into Tamburello and moves back into the race lead. Ferrari Pro led only one lap, and he's now back in second. As Cam moves by Plez. Plez must have damage after all of that on the safety car restart lap.
I can't say anything wrong with his front wing. Probably has a little bit of light damage, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Or he could, or you know what, he could also maybe have underfloor damage.
Yeah, could do. That's a fair point. Did cop some wax in the side, so... And I do remember he hit the back of Baggs' car as he gets a 3-second time penalty. That was at the exit of Toza when Plebs hit the back of Baggs' car. So I reckon he's either got light front wing damage to the point that we can't see it, as Cox now gets a time penalty. Or you're right, he's got some sort of floor damage because he copped several side-on knocks that might have damaged the floor.
Yeah, and it's not fun if you have like you can't cope with like let's say a bit of light damage with the underfloor, but like if it's too severe, it's just it's not fun.
Too impossible.
Yeah, the car just becomes like a boat.
Smithy round the outside, heading into Tamburello. Can't outbrake his rival. He stays in third. Can't say the same for Pato. He moves through into 5th place, overtaking Bags Liddell. Some nice battling here and there. Up and down the field. Yellow's out. It's Davis. That's at turn 2. Rejoins down in P9. In fact, I don't think he lost position.
No, he just only lost time, that's it.
Tom, Ferrari Pro, Smithy, Cox. That's your top 4. Then it's 3.7 seconds back to GeForce Pato KD, and he's on fresher tyres.
Yep. When he took advantage of the safety car period, pinning on those tires too. Not too bad so far.
I'm really thinking there's a chance here for Pato to win this thing if he gets these stints right. He's on those mediums. If he can make them last, do double medium to the end, I reckon at least he'll be on for a top 5.
Yeah, that'd be a solid result. Indeed, too.
Here's your leading 4 cars, Tom, Ferrari Pro, Smithy and Ryan Cox, making their way through Tamburello. We head towards Villeneuve, chucking it through the chicane. Ooh, Ferrari Pro not tempting fate, staying away from the inside curb through turn 6. Nice and tidy out of Toza. Smithy just behind in 3rd. Ryan Cox in 4th. Pato, Bags, Liddell, Cam and Plebs all in a train. Plebs, I certainly suspect he has damage on that car. At least a little bit of damage that is affecting his pace. Tom, 3-second time penalty. I do believe that's his first penalty of the night.
That was. Yeah, it doesn't look like the car is not very good. certain like areas of the track. I noticed how he was understeering a little bit back from Minerali clubs. Yeah, I think he's causing some damage.
5.5 tenths is the gap between the top two. What does it creep down to? 4.5, 4, 3.5, 3, 3 tenths. So he gains a couple of tenths down the main straight with DRS Ferrari Pro.
And a little bit of slipstream too.
Now with the time penalty, all he needs to do is keep up with Tom. He's on the same strategy. Just keep up with him.
Yep, and don't make a mistake.
That's it.
You've got the race win.
That is it, KD.
The Italians will take anything that they can, pretty much.
Absolutely. And what a way to win a championship, winning the final round of the championship here in Italy. And you're driving a Ferrari. That's sort of the dream situation, isn't it? For any Ferrari fan.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Bit difficult to do in real life, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I clinched the championship here in Imola 2 seasons ago, but it wasn't in a Ferrari. It was in a black Mercedes.
Yeah, bit of the polar opposite to a Ferrari.
that's like literally the Ferrari fans' worst nightmare, seeing that silver arrow or the black arrow as it was beforehand. That's Davis again.
He's not having a fun time with that AlphaTauri.
No, not at all.
Down to 12th he goes. Not going well. Not going well at all. And when it's not your day, it's really not your day. Just can't do a thing about it.
Yep, I feel you on that.
And sometimes it is your day, and then other people screw it up and ruin your day. I went through that last night in Endurance. Was not fun.
Oh yeah. No, I know. Because I witnessed everything to that, and yeah. There's nothing more to say about that. A
very below average race all round at Abu Dhabi from a lot of different people. Ryan Cox, he's now giving Smithy a bit of a hard time. Maybe those mediums have started to fall off.
Yeah, probably not working best for him really with this strat. He's going in.
Yeah, Smithy's into pit lane, so 14 laps, maybe Pato can't medium it to the end. He has to do another 4. Oh no, he should. He can medium it. To be totally frank with you, ACW, I am still pretty peeved about... Oh no! Pato slipped on a banana peel. And around he goes, down to 7th. Oh, and his teammates around too. Plebs is off into the gravel trap. What's with teammates spinning?
And
they're not Ferraris. What's going on?
Yeah. We had Aston spin in the sprint, and now we have had Alpine spin in the main race.
Typically, you see Ferraris sprint in online league racing, and in real life, of course. But no. It's Astons and Alpines, Exits and AlphaTauri. Oh, we've seen that plenty of times, to be frank.
Well, I guess I'll make maybe ACW a bit pleased too to see the Alpine spin, considering that there's a bunch of Alpines in his head. Love you, ACW.
There we go. And Roscoe has spun, hasn't he? His Bags gets a time penalty. Pretty certain. Yeah, he was off at Tamburello. So all of the A teams have spun at some point.
Very interesting.
Very
Bags is in by the way.
Yep. Set of mediums will be bolted on his car. He'll go to the end. It's a bit of a stretch, but he should get there. Alright. Roscoe, I'm into the pits too.
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose why not?
Yeah, no. Been a interesting week. All around the world of F1 stuff. So Just glad my driving duties are all done. Don't have to drive on this game ever again. I've just got commentary duties left now. Was really hoping to give this game a nice send-off, and I was doing quite well at Abu Dhabi, and it got ruined by the people I was racing with. So, not fun.
Nope. Those people drove like utter clowns in that race.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
No. I had a lot to say about that race for sure in that string.
I think a fair few people had words to say about what happened during that.
Yep.
It was a very poor way to end the season. As Spicy goes into the pits, he'll be moving on to a set of mediums. Smithy, well, to no surprise, on fresh tyres, has set a new fastest lap. An 18.0. Here comes Bags Liddell. Round the outside of Davis. Moves through into 9th. Spicy making his way out of the fairly long pit lane here at Imola. You do have to be careful. It's a lengthy pit lane.
Yeah, it's about 23 or 24 second loss when you go into that pit lane. It takes a long time, despite it being a 50 mile speed limit, 80 km/h speed limit. But you get the point.
Yeah.
It's a bit long.
With the pit lane covering about 2/3 of the whole main stretch. Yeah. Just long, lengthy.
Yep, very lengthy.
Ferrari Pro is in. This is a critical pit stop in the story of this race. Medium tyres put on the car. He'll end up behind Cam. Will he end up in front of Pato? The red dot's leaving the pits.
I think Pato's going to get in front of him.
Yeah, he does. For some reason, the game's still on this camera for Ferrari Pro. Get a nice look at that front jack. There's Ferrari Pro, and here's Smithy.
Just in front of him, too.
So the other car hasn't really worked.
I thought the other cut, though. I thought that the other cut, I remember previous times, was good. Well, good as it being powerful, that is.
There you go. He is behind Ferrari Pro. Yeah. Now, granted, Ferrari Pro does have cold tyres. Smithy's closing in, but where are you going to pass?
You can't. You have to get the main straight.
That's it. And we know what Ferrari Pro is going to do. If Smithy has a shot, he's going to dump all his battery. Tom gets a speeding penalty. And Cox is in as well. So another blow for the Haas driver. He now has 8 seconds worth of penalties. New mediums bolted on. So where will Tom and Cox come out relative to Ferrari Pro and Smithy? As Plebs gets a 3-second time penalty.
Well, the gap before Tom got into before Ferrari Pro got into the pit was 2.5 seconds. I reckon it's going to be maybe relative to somewhere around there.
Cox is going to come out 4th in the queue. Ferrari Pro 4th place overall. And the gap's 2.1 seconds. Tom's pulled away.
What? You sure? I thought the gap was like 2.5 seconds when Ferrari Pro came in.
Wasn't?
I thought so.
In that case, then, it's sort of evened out. Because now Ferrari Pro has warm tyres. He'll be closing in on Tom on this lap. So I thought the gap was smaller than that. There we go. But Tom, if that's the case, has done exactly what he needed to do, and he had the buffer in hand to do it. So
but Ferrari Pro, if he cannot make a mistake, not get a penalty, he just needs to stay within 8 seconds. That's all he's got to do.
That's it. Not even 3 seconds now, because you really can't protest a speeding penalty unless you've been royally screwed over by the game.
In fairness, that has happened before. I have seen where the pit lane glitch has happened when you're entering the pits, that is.
Yeah, I've had it once at Jeddah. I was really happy about that.
Well, I remember seeing that happen at in another league back in 2021 at Paul Ricard. Someone had gone into the pits, and the game apparently gone 1 kilometer an hour over the speed limit, and then the game gave him a penalty for it.
Ferrari Pro working hard at the moment. He knows he's on grippier, fresher tyres. He's trying to pull away from Smithy. Smithy doing the best he can with the tyres he's got, but he can only do so much. There's Tom right behind Pato. Pato still needs to make a pit stop in this race. Cam, our race leader, is trying to go to the end on those hard tyres. Tom looking for a way through. He can't find it. And every second he spends behind Pato, it's a few hundredths closer for Ferrari Pro. Here comes Tom though. He's not going to be held back anymore. Smithy sets a new fastest lap. That's beaten by Ryan Cox. Oh, and there goes Tom into second place, as clean as you like.
Now we're closing after this.
Davis trying to move about. Here comes Plebs. He'll move through. Oh, and Davis just lifts off. He wants to go to the back. Doesn't want anything to do with this battle. So we've got a 3-car fight for 9th. Got Plebs, Spicy, and Roscoe Arm in a mini train here, battling away. Hopefully the gaps close up and the battle begins to intensify. That'll be nice to see. Smithy now 1.2 seconds behind Ferrari Pro. And he's now actually catching up to Pato, still on old tyres. I'm surprised he hasn't pit yet for a new set. Still running on them. I don't really think he can go to the end on those. They'd be pretty dead.
Yeah, could be risking a puncture too.
That too. Tom fastest lap. Ferrari Pro closing in. Smithy, he might be under attack soon from Ryan Cox. The overspeed is real. The McLaren goes down the inside into Variante, Tamburello, and moves into 5th position. That was an easy overtake with a lot of overspeed.
Yeah, the sheer power of that McLaren, I suppose.
Low set up, plenty of straight line speed.
Yeah, Cam, or Cam, I should say. 120 he did on that last lap. Tom did, as we saw, did a 16.9. That's nearly a 3 seconds quicker on that lap from Tom. So yeah, he's got that raw pace with those fresher medium tires compared to those 17-lap-old hards.
Yeah, it's definitely creative racing line there from Tom there at the exit of Alta.
Yeah, that's definitely a warning for sure.
Yeah, it's only a matter of when, not if, Tom gets by into the outright race lead. Still a question though with Ferrari Pro. He is currently stuck behind Pato, and the gap's still increasing between Ferrari Pro and Tom. To the outside, which turned into the inside here at turn 1. Ferrari Pro gets by into 3rd, and the gap is 4 seconds with 9 laps to go. He needs to stay within 8 seconds. Yellow's out. That was Davis spinning as Pump goes into the pits to get off those hard tyres.
See what happens here. Does Tom go for any sort of ambition? Oh, look at the overspeed he got there in the corner. And he's gone by. There you go. He's now into the race lead again, ahead of Cam.
So Cam down to 2nd place on 18 lap old hards. Didn't bother fighting that one. He really just couldn't fight that one. So,
nah, I don't think. Sorry, to be honest, I don't think he even wanted it from what it looked like to me.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got such a tyre life difference between compounds, there's just no point. Let the guys through, get on with your own race and see what you can get instead of costing yourself time. Cox closing in on Pato, not by enough though to attack into Ravazza. We head around the second last corner, back onto the main stretch as Pato pits finally. Maybe for a set of softs, KD.
And what's he gonna do? About 8 laps on those softs? I mean, could do it, but well, I mean, why not? I suppose in your situation, what have you got to lose?
That's it. Go for it. See what sticks.
He's actually gone through the 3 tires, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Started at hards, went to mediums, and now in softs.
Yep. Used all 3 slick compounds.
Yep, all the compounds.
Cam now has Ferrari Pro closing in. The gap has reduced to 1.7 seconds. Down to 1.6 now as they head through Aqua Minerale. Down to 4th gear. Back on the power as he heads up the hill onto the back straight and towards Variante Alta. The gap shrinks some more to 1.2 seconds. It's a night and day difference in terms of speed right now. 19 lap old hards versus 6 lap old mediums. There's no contest here. Cam cannot do anything. Try and hang on.
Yeah. Well, that's also going to depend on how Ferrari how Ferrari Pro deals with him. Ferrari Pro is obviously, like we've been saying, not great on the battery situation. Cam's got over like 55%. Yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult if Cam stays in front of Ferrari Pro and uses the battery just to defend as hard as he can.
Perhaps Ferrari Pro needs to find a more unorthodox way to try and pass. Maybe not to the traditional passing spot at Tamburello. Maybe try somewhere else and utilize the traction of the medium tyre to basically outdrive your rival. As Pato moves through into 9th place, overtaking Roscoe Arms. So Pato, he's on the charge to try and catch up to Plebs and Spicy as they're battling for 7th place on track. We head down the hill here, watching this battle for P2 as Ferrari Pro is taking chunks of time out of Cam's lead as we head into Variante Alta. Clobbering over the curbs. Ferrari Pro find a way through.
It's coming. Does he go? I think he'll just wait a little bit. Yeah, he's going to wait until he gets DRS, getting down the main straight. That's the very smart thing to do by Ferrari Pro.
This draws Ryan Cox closer. Chance for Cox to finish on the podium as Ferrari Pro moves into 2nd position. A tidy overtake. He's now 5.3 seconds behind the race leader. Now needs to get his head down, start setting some consistent laps to make sure Tom doesn't drive away. What about Ryan? What does he have to do to try and get by as we head through Variante Villeneuve and up towards the Toza hairpin? GeForce Pato sets a new fastest lap. That's not surprising. He's on the soft tyre. A wiggle there from Cam.
Cam, goodness me.
Moving out of the way.
Yeah, it doesn't fight. Bother.
I think his mentality is just to survive. He's committed to this strategy. Oh, his tyres aren't too committed though. He's losing grip. He's losing grip fast. Oh, weaving. Gee whiz. Smithy tried to find a way by. I think Cam was moving over to try and get off the racing line and let Smithy through. But he inadvertently blocked him. I don't think that was intentional at all. I think Cam was just trying to get out of the way, but he ended up accidentally blocking him. Fortunately, no crash. That's the main thing.
Yep, no accident. That's the main thing, like you mentioned. Although, Cam is closing in. Oh no, goodness me! That overspeed was ridiculous, but he decided not to fight it.
Yeah, no. Stays behind. Competing in his own race. He's got 8.8 seconds as a margin to Bags Liddell, who does have a time penalty next to his name. He's got 6 seconds next to his name. So Cam has got a huge gap. He's got a huge cushion to try and play with. All he needs to do is try and survive 5 laps and needs to pray that his tyres hang on as well within that time frame.
Yeah, he could be at the point of reaching puncture territory, I reckon. I feel that might come towards the end if he's not careful.
That's right.
We'll have to wait and see.
Palm 46 gets a 3-second time penalty. That's his first of the night. We have a battle on as well for P3, the final podium spot. It's going to be a head-to-head time trial race between Ryan Cox and Smithy in the Aston Martin. The gap sits at 2.4 seconds between these two drivers. Can Smithy stay within range? He's on the hard compound tyre. Cox is on the medium. Those tyres, they're wearing away and their outright pace is fading. Smithy, though, still has grip on those tyres. Still making the car work in his favour. For iPro, the gap's increased. Oh, and a slip and a slide out of Tozer. That's cost him a few precious tenths. The gap has increased to 6.8 seconds. The pressure's getting to him, KD.
Yeah, it's about 1.2 seconds is the margin, and really that's between Tom and Ferrari Pro in terms of at least for Ferrari Pro to at least overtake him on penalties. He needs to stay with. Oh, and he made another one. A little bit of a mistake, I thought, there at the exit of Variante Alta. It's cost him now a couple more tenths, and Ryan Cox is closing quickly.
Yep, absolutely. So, yeah, Ferrari Pro doesn't have the car underneath him right now. It's slipping and sliding all over the place. It's costing him a chance of a race win. The gap's increased to 7.1 seconds as Davis gets a 3-second time penalty. Got Ryan Cox behind with a 3-second time penalty. He's got Smithy 2.8 seconds behind. He's trying to fight for the final podium spot. He's now closing in on Ferrari Pro. He'll have DRS. Yellow's out. That must be Davis going slowly, trying to get out of the way of the race leader. And look at the gap. It's shrunk to 6.6. So Tom must have made a mistake.
He must have done so. Yeah, because the gap before that was 7.1 as they started the next lap.
Alright, through Aqua Minerale, heading up the hill through turn 13, up towards Variante Alta. No ACW, only top 3. Something I've done for a long time, mate. Down towards Aqua Minerale, sorry, not Aqua Minerale, around Ravazza. At the back end of the circuit, somebody's coming in. That is Davis coming in. He'll be trying to snag fastest lap if he can. Gap sits at 7 seconds. Cox with DRS open is now pulling away from Smithy, so there's a chance that Cox will finish on the final podium spot. Meanwhile, Spicy has pressure from Pato behind on those soft tyres. Can he find a way through? Oh! Well, there you go.
I would have thought he would have committed to that, but okay. I think Ferrari Pro's made another mistake. He's now lost about 4 more tenths.
Yeah, and he has Ryan Cox right on the back of him, so...
Yeah.
Ferrari Pro needs to keep his head down, keep it cool. Can't afford to let that car slip and slide about. We head into Variante Alta for the second last time. Cox not the best of runs through the chicane. Cost himself a few tenths as Smithy closes to within 3 seconds again. The battle for third is on. The battle for the race win is on. The leader begins the final lap. Lap 32 of 32. Here at Imola, the gap sits at 7.7 seconds. Tom has 8 seconds worth of penalties. Cox has 3 seconds worth of penalties. He's occupying P3, and Smithy is 3 seconds behind in 4th. So who is going to finish on the podium, and in which position? I have no idea. Time will tell. Through Variante Villeneuve, Ferrari Pro gets through that well. Tom got through Tozer pretty well. Out of the hairpin. The gap sits at 7.8. 7.9. It is close.
Oh.
Tidy run through turn 13 from Tom. Ferrari Pro heads into Aqua Minerale for the last time. chucks it through. The car sticks. The gap shrinks to 7.8. Tom got a decent run, it seems, through Variante Alta. Ferrari Pro does the same. It is going to be now bitingly close as Smithy gets a time penalty. He won't finish on the podium. Tom, he'll send it towards the line. He'll cross the line in first. Will he stay there, though? Ferrari Pro, he'll dump whatever he's got left. He's not going to get there. It's going to be second for Ferrari Pro. He misses out by a little over a tenth and a half. It'll be Ryan Cox who completes the podium places in third. Smithy with the time penalty. If he didn't get that, he would have missed out by 300ths of a second. It'll be Cam who will finish in fifth, in front of Bags Liddell in sixth. Then we'll have Plevs and Pato crossing the line now. Pato crashing his car across the line. Then we'll have Spicy and Roscoe Arm as well, coming up towards the finish. There we are. And quite right, Ferrari are Constructors' Champions. They are the Season 8 Pacific Elite Series Constructors' Champions. Spicy gets the fastest lap at the end, a 16.3. And Roscom crosses the line as well. P9 for him. There we are. The end of a interesting race here at Imola. And it's Pato who is given driver of the day. Now it's time for the podium celebrations. Oh, I think Katie and I both thought that the 8-second penalty was more than enough to keep Tom off the top step of the podium, but he's done enough, winning the race by a fairly small margin of 1.5 tenths. He's our winner of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Ferrari Pro home in second, Ryan Cox in third. The unofficial results then of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. VFR Tom is our race winner by a little over a tenth and a half to Ferrari Pro in second. With that result, Ferrari secured the Constructors' Championship for Season 8. Ryan Cox on his debut finishes in third in front of our newly crowned champion Smithy in fourth. Cam put together a pretty solid race and a fine strategy. He finishes home in fifth, in front of Bags Liddell in P6, Plevs in 7th, Pato P8, Roscoe Arm in 9th, Spicy with fastest lap rounds out the top 10. Then we have Pump in 11th, Davis in 12th, and our retirements from the race, Urban Scyther and our cameraman KD.
Brief cameraman.
Brief cameraman. There we are, an interesting Grand Prix, to say the least. Wasn't really expecting much from Imola, from races past. This circuit hasn't always delivered, and tonight certainly had some interesting racing. We had some interesting drama as well. All in all, a solid round of the championship, and a nice way to end a long season as we're still in this menu. That's
this
right.
Guy. Gotta love this guy.
It can't help itself. It honestly can't help itself.
Well, there's the timer again. Even now it's gone.
Yeah, it's all gone now.
Cool.
But it honestly can't help itself.
Well, I'll lead up to F1 23.
Still got a few races left for both of us, so
Yeah.
we ain't done yet. We're just on the final leg, the final stage of this long road we've been on with F1 22.
Just please have 23 feel like more of the cars from 2020 or 2021. Would really fit my driving style.
We'll invite the top 2 in. Do some chatting about what happened in this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I think I've got Tom as a friend. I'm pretty certain I would. That's Ferrari Pro. Oh, I gotta scroll down. He's not appearing online.
Oh, guess we'll just have to search for him.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I thought I had him as a friend. If he wants to join, he can join. We can have a chit chat. If he doesn't want to join, he doesn't want to join. I'll do a quick shout out though to Mr. Cox. I know it's your debut and I would love to talk to you. I have no means of doing so as I stream through PlayStation, so sorry. I would love to chat to the PC and Xbox players, but I have no real means of doing that. But I'm still going to congratulate you though for that 3rd place finish on your debut. Well done. Fine performance. Drove quite well. Got pole position if I recall correctly, though it was a bit of a botched session, but pole's pole, so I'll take it. I would take it in that situation. So congrats on your P3 finish in the main race, and welcome to Race Spec. Please stay for a while. Attendance has been shocking in Elite Series, and I'm hoping next season's a bit better. Ferrari Pro. Hello.
G'day. Hello.
I'll adjust the audio just ever so quickly. There we are. Turn down the music a bit. Oh, I accidentally left the show. I didn't mean to do that. P2, mates. At the end of that race, you are Constructors Champions for Season 8. Must be a nice feeling.
Well, I'm going to be blasting the Italian national anthem on the speaker tonight, so yeah, it's a good feeling. Yeah, it's you know, I don't really care about the P2. I'm just happy we got the Constructors, so yeah.
Fair play. Even the driver down, ACW, was cheering you on from the sidelines.
Yeah, he was giving me little messages during the race, what to do in it. So just followed his way, basically.
But no, you performed quite well. I would say how was qualifying, but it was a bit botched, wasn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Like not even my lap was botched. Also, like I just couldn't do a like good lap at all. You know, I just didn't have enough pace. Just not enough pace. I didn't have you know, a lot of downforce in the car. I just had a lot of understeer essentially. So yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. But
yep.
With the rain coming over, I didn't expect it to come over that quickly. So I was like shocked. Then I tried to go out for my second run, and I was like, yeah.
You just came out. It was just too late.
Honestly, I think it caught a fair few people out because there were still people in the pits, even when the rain started lashing down. So, yeah, I think a few people got caught out thanks to that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, qualifying botched. Sprint race though, appeared that it went pretty well for you.
Yeah, sprint race was actually pretty good. You know, I felt like against, I think, was it Cypher? Is that Urban Cypher?
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, Urban Cypher and Plebs. You know, I felt I had better straight line speed than them, even on low battery. So yeah, I essentially just tried to give that a go, and when I saw opportunity arise in the final lap with them battling, I just took it and overtook Plebs, or I overtook Plebs and took home a P3. So yeah, it was a good sprint race. It was pretty demanding in a way with the pace. It was a fast pace all around.
And a P3 finish at the end of the sprint, so ended up scoring 8. Wasn't quite enough to secure the championship at that point. Needed a couple more points to secure it, but you more than secured it in the main race itself. But speaking of that main race, you put together a pretty good one. No penalties next to your name, and you started on the hard compound tyre. How was it starting on the hards here at Imola?
It wasn't too bad, honestly. I think for the first 3 laps I just had a lot of understeer and just wheel spin, but
yep.
I think going past lap 3 it just started feeling better and better, and then as the whole life of the tyre like the whole life of the tyre, I think, until I pitted, just felt perfect. Apart from my rear right, which is just degrading like every single lap by like 10, it felt like. So no, apart from that rear right tyre, was that a good tyre?
No, it seemed like you were performing quite well on it, and then you moved on to the medium slightly earlier compared to your rivals. You went for a slight undercut. During the beginning phases of that stint, you were looking pretty okay. It was only towards the end that you started to look really sketchy. What was going on behind the wheel?
Just pushing way too hard, to get in Tom's DRS. Or DRS in his like penalty range, so yeah, just pushing way too hard, thinking more about the race win than the constructors and that, and yeah, essentially just letting down the tyre life, like not saving and that. So that rear right tyre again on the mediums was shocking. So yeah, it wasn't the overall best stint I've ever done the mediums, but yeah, it is what it is.
I was going to say the car looked very squirrely at several areas around the racetrack, particularly at the exit of the Tozer hairpin at turn 7. It looked pretty bad out of there on a few occasions. Fair enough. Tom, as we know, is a pretty quick guy, so you had to work hard to try and stay within range. You must be a little bit gutted to miss out by such a small margin.
Yeah, I'm gutted. I think even going into like the chicane, I think I was like 7.9, 7.8 or something then. Had a bucket load of wheel spin going out of there, so it cost me about 3/10 or something.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Then the finish only like a tenth and a half away. It destroys you a little bit. You're like, oh man, like I could have got it out of there. And
yeah.
There was a point too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
You're right, bro. Alright, I'll finish my sentence.
I was going to say, though, there was one point I think that Tom also made a mistake, because there was a point at the race where he was about 7.2 seconds up, and then he lost about maybe 4.5 tenths, I think, and it looked like you were going to get back into range of actually beating him.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing maybe the peer pressure might have got to you in some cases.
Yeah, a little bit. I think when he made that mistake, I was starting to use a lot more ERS and that, and just pushing way too hard. So, yeah, I guess a bit of pressure was coming on my shoulders and that, and yeah, just basically screwed myself over with the little mistakes I was doing. So, yeah.
KD, do you have anything to ask Ferrari Pro?
No, not further comments, but other than that, congratulations though on your Constructors Championship with you and ACW, for sure.
Thanks, man, thank you.
Well, no, Ferrari Pro, a solid effort all the way throughout the season. I think with these results you'll lock in second place in the Drivers' Championship, as well as locking up the Constructors title for yourself and ACW representing Ferrari. How do you rate the season as a whole?
Definitely a lot to improve on. I came from like a championship winning season last season that I had like 4 or 5 wins or something. Only this season I have 2, including 1 sprint race. So yeah, there's a bit to work on, but Smithy was a quick guy all season round, and yeah, he just drove absolutely brilliantly, and I couldn't really keep up with that on a lot of tracks. So yeah, still just a bit to do, but it should be alright. I'll give it another crack next season.
Yeah, no. 2 race wins throughout this season, winning at Mexico and at Silverstone. Had the sweep at Mexico too. As you do with sprints. Do pretty well at that. And you got a double podium in this sprint too. You really are a sprint king.
Yeah.
Seems.
Not so good in real life, but in like esports and online racing, it's pretty good.
You wouldn't have too many races to go, would you, Ferrari Pro, on this game?
I might do like another mini championship in another league, but apart from that, not really any major ones, to be honest.
Fair enough. So we're coming towards the end of F1 22. You can finally look towards the future heading towards
Yeah.
F1 23. Hopefully it's a bit brighter than this bloody thing.
I can get on the beautiful tracks of Gran Turismo.
You can have a go at that during the off
Yeah.
season. But I think Ferrari Pro, that will end my questioning. Thank you very much for joining us, and congrats on your P2 finish and the Constructors' Championship. Well done.
Thanks, Lane and KD, for commentating the season, and congrats to Smithy on the championship. He drove really well, and also fair play to my teammate ACW in helping us get the constructors essentially.
That's,
GG to the other two on the podium tonight.
Also a shout out to our race winner Tom, not by the greatest of margins, only a tenth and a half at the end of that. It was really touch and go between yourself and Ferrari Pro right at the end of the race, but you put together a really solid display of driving. You were well and truly out in front. Only the penalties held you back, and you know, that happens from time to time, but you overcame that and you ended up winning the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. So congratulations, Tom, on winning the final race of the season. And also another congratulations to our championship winner, that is Smithy for Aston Martin. A dominant season of driving. A season of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 race wins. Yeah, no one was touching you for this season, so congrats on the result, and congrats for a pretty faultless season. Congratulations on becoming the Season 8 Drivers' Champion. But I think, folks, that's going to wrap everything up. KD, thank you for joining me throughout this season. Your help has been more than appreciated.
Yeah, no problem anytime. It's always a pleasure to commentate with you, Lane, for sure. Another season wrapped up in the books, and yeah, it's just, yeah, another good season.
Now you can go to bed at regular times.
Yes, sir.
You need it. But I think, everybody, with the race and all of the necessary stuff finished, it's time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. My co-commentator throughout this season has been KD1997. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed our coverage of this championship season here on Race Spec Esports. Until next time, whenever that may be, it's goodbye.